I'm Rob Dyrdek, and I should stick to skateboarding. Here's some dumb chick that tries to rap, and a black guy. Yeah, diversity. On today's episode, we're just gonna do what Tosh.0 did last week. So let's do it. Let's dig into the top 10 top 10 MX simulator tracks. You're real funny, Tosh. Tosh.0. This show is original. That was funny. Boys, I'm sure you can tell I'm already beyond stoked to get the Rob Dyrdek feature. But with that being said, we're going to dive straight into it. I'm actually going to showcase track number 7 on the list before number 8 because I feel like number 8 will piss you off, possibly. It's a little boring. I need to hook the viewer's interest towards the beginning of the video to milk that ad revenue for all it's worth. So here we go. Track number 7. Julian Lieber's practice track, fellas. This track was created by one of the true OGs of the community, Motoboss. And I'd have to say this is his crowning achievement as an MX Schwimulator track creator. If you haven't heard of the legendary YouTube video, then you're really missing out. That video is the real reason I find this track so fun. I will definitely link it in the description. And just to sum it up, basically some genius decides to throw a GoPro onto Julian Lieber, who is a pro rider in the MX GPs, and good lord is his backyard incredible. As if I haven't ripped enough original content already, here's a little clip from Julian Lieber's video. It starts out with him just cruising in the woods after smoking a fat hooter, just another day in the life of a straight OG. And then he's just like, I'm gonna fucking sand it on my sight lap. I mean, just look at this shit. This guy scarfs whippets on 120-foot booters for breakfast. What made this track so great is that Motoboss just about perfectly captured the track you see in this GoPro. I am 109% sure that Motoboss just watched this GoPro video and was like, that was fucking sick, I'm gonna make this track. Also, can we take a moment to reflect on my Tyson Fresquez-esque lines here? Landing on the face of a jump and then going full Ronnie Mac over this triple? I mean, Julian Lieber didn't even send that triple, so I guess you could say I'm kind of a big deal. Fuck you. Get a life. Oh, and I forgot to edit in my take on the super cool hardcore whip in the GoPro videos. So there it is. Really cool. Really similar. Go Donut. Cool edit, man. Real life. Realistic. You ride motocross. Good work. Not only did Motoboss nail the track layout, but he nailed the decals and the environment as well. You look at the GoPro and then you look at this track and you're like, damn, that's crispy. That's looking pretty crisp. Chicken crisp is good. So yeah, Kendrick Lamar really outdid himself on this track. The jumps and rhythms are spot on. The berms aren't the best, but they feel pretty realistic after watching the GoPro footage. And I'm feeling a strong 8 to light 9 on this one. Definitely better than To Pimp a Butterfly. Of course, as in every top 10 video, we have the let's try to wheelie on the first attempt segment, followed by the let's do a backflip on the first attempt segment. The wheelie was an immediate success. The backflip could use a second attempt. Let's go for it. That'll do, donkey.
Number 8.
Coming in at the Ocho, we have It's Friday MX, created by another one of the legends, your boy Chex and Rebecca Black. I'll get a little more in-depth about Checkers in the future. Hint, hint. There's a few more of his tracks in this series. But the reason I'm hesitant to put this track into the top 10 is that it's clearly very basic. It's a short, easy local cross track with no braking bumps, very little environment. But as you should come to learn about this series, it is all about that nostalgia factor. I can't tell you how many laps I burned on this track back when I was a little squeaker. All criticisms aside though, it's definitely a solid local cross track with really well made berms and ruts and a couple of big boy lines for all the real rippers out there, not to mention plenty of jumps to get schmeezy on. Is this even a real top 10 if I just choose like a bunch of 2009 tracks? And actually going back to search for this track on the forums, I found one forum post that just says it all. I'm like, awesome track. Why isn't it on Pure MXS? Super fun on a 125. Smiley face. Haha. Don't worry guys, that post was 6 years ago. And Checker's response is just about how I feel nowadays, but I burned too many laps on this track not to put it into the top 10. He says, not really pure MXS quality, I wouldn't say. Sure, it's fun, but in all honesty, it's a track that has about 5 days of work into it, not something that should go up on Pure. RIP Pure MXS. I thought GoDaddy was a porn site for the longest time. Wheelie and a backflip! Whoa! I almost forgot. So while I was making this list, I thought to myself, good lord, there are way too many great tracks to squeeze into a top 10 list. I can't be cramming like 5 or 10 honorable mentions into the last video of the series, so I thought I'd start showing at least one honorable mention per episode. And this honorable mention happens to be the JGMX Blizzard Extreme Hardcore comma Pound of Awesome. Someone get this manst a dictionary. And I'm gonna have to apologize, fellas. This track has not been released yet. I cannot give you the download link until JG decides to put it out there. So you're just gonna have to jerk off to this gameplay I have of it in the meantime. This track is giving off some of them local cross vibes, just like Next Friday MX. So I found it appropriate to fit into this video. By the way, this is what a failed Oppo attempt looks like. And it's a good example of what I was talking about earlier. Just one of the many newer tracks that's objectively better than other things I'm putting in the top 10. But it just didn't have the opportunity to tug at any of those nostalgic nose hairs of mine back in 2009. So it's hard to justify squeezing it into the top 10. This is one of the 2 parts that I hate on the track, and since it's not released yet, JG, goddammit, would you change this jump? But besides that, I get extra excited every time JG decides to release a more realistic track with smaller ruts, rather than his more wide open fun tracks that everybody seems to love. I don't want to sound like a douche, but those tracks are generally too easy for my taste, and there's really nothing to separate slower riders from the faster guys. Not saying that I'm fast, but I scored an RF point one time. And this is obviously criticism for fun tracks in general. Josh just has a handful that have blown up. And really what I'm getting at here is that I wish y'all had his badass tracks like this or the St. Jude Round 1 on the servers over tracks like the goddamn Ride 365 compound. But it's okay, I've told your boy JG Wentworth plenty of times how I feel about that track. And I feel like this tangent really got out of hand. I guess my hate for the Ride 365 pound just manifested itself into my video. Now that I got that out of the way, I can be nice for the future JG tracks in the series. And can we please convince JG to create like an RF national type track, but custom, with its own layout? Like one of the AMA national tracks he made, but its own thing? Because those were pretty stiz. And I bet you're wondering, man, Donut, how do you throw these McSchmeezy oppos? Well, there may be a video coming soon, bud. And, shit, man. Honorable mention number 2, guys. Another JG Wentworth exclusive. Another track that has yet to be released. So I guess I really am kind of a big deal. Some Mad Dog JGSX exclusives coming down only on donutmx, guys. JG doesn't even know that I'm putting these on YouTube. He is gonna be pissed off. And let it be known, that Supercross track was not the honorable mention. This is it right here, boys. Monaghan style. We're gonna send it. Wee-hee-hee. Oh, we made it through the whole section, dude. Legendary status, fellas. I might as well uninstall MX Simulator right now. Lord knows that 3-jump pit bike track section will get its own video so I can go viral. So I guess before I seal my destiny and uninstall the game, I'll throw Celebration Oppo, which I may or may not be teaching you how to do in like 2 days. That wraps it up. I'll see you guys on the next episode of Ridiculousness. Rob Dyrdek is funny.